please start.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So good afternoon, everyone. Good to interact with you all here today. And I've been told that all of you are science students and you are preparing for your 10th and 12th board examinations. And is there anybody who's in 8th standard right now among you? You can just raise your hand, 8th or 9th. How many of you in 10th standard right now? Just raise your hand. Divya and Ricky. Okay. 11th. 12th. Acha. Shashikant is 11th. 12th is Aditya and Purusharth. Okay. Good. So, how many of you want to become engineers? Just raise your hand. Yeah. Only one. Doctors. No one want to become a doctor. How many of you want to join the armed forces? Raise your hand. 1, 2. And what about the others? Yeah, Divya. What about you? What do you want to do?
Still not decided. Just
Still not
waiting
decided.
for. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. What about you, Anuj?
So I want to go join armed forces.
You want to join armed forces? Okay, fine. So now I'll just briefly tell you firstly what are the options available to you for joining armed forces after 12th standard. So I'm sure you must have also done your homework a little bit. So what do you think? What is the after 12th? Which is the best option for you to join the armed forces? Yeah.
NDA.
NDA. Okay. Is there any other entry other than NDA through which you can join the armed forces? Anyone?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
also join through SSB
Mm.
after college.
No, immediately after 12th.
No,
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Aditya.
IMA.
Yeah, Aditya, you were saying something?
Sir, is it the IMA?
The technical
IMA,
entity,
you
yes.
go after finishing your training in India. Okay, fine. Anyway, so I'll just briefly tell you as far as you are concerned because you are all in school. So your first chance to join the IMA, as you rightly brought out, was is through NDA, and so you have to write entrance exam, which is conducted by UPSC. And you have to, the standard of syllabus is your 10th standard level. So you have a paper on maths, you have a paper on general knowledge, general science, and also social studies. So once you have cleared your written exam, after that you get a call for your SSB interview. And for SSB interview, it is a 4 to 5 day process wherein you have to go to either SSB Allahabad or SSB Bhopal, Bangalore, or in case of FOS aspirant, they also go to Dehradun, and also there's one more center at Kapurthala. Now, when you fill up your form for NDA initially, so you have to give a choice whether you want to join Army or Navy or Air Force. So you have to give your first 3 choice in the order of priority, whether you want to go in for Navy or you want to go for Air Force or whether you want to go for Army. And when you join NDA, in NDA, you have 3 years of training, wherein initial almost 1.5 years, it is common for everybody. So basic subjects are taught you. Only thing is, even if you do not have science at 12th, if you have taken commerce or arts, then also you can appear for NDA. But in that case, you can only opt for Army. Whereas if since all of you are studying physics, chemistry, and maths, so you can give your choice as either for Air Force, Army, and Navy, all 3. But you have to mention in your form when you are applying for the exam, which is your first choice. So when you clear a written exam and when you clear a SSB interview, after that, when they make the merit list, so if you applied for given Navy as your first choice, so your the name will be there first in the Navy, list for Navy, and then second for the other two choices, whether Army or Air Force. Same is the case for Air Force candidates also. Now, once you have joined your training in NDA, so your training in NDA is for 3 years. 1.5 years is common, and after that, the Air Force cadets get also some flying training. The naval cadets get training in sailing in addition to your normal subjects. And after you have successfully completed your training in NDA, you get a degree of BSc or BA. So those who are studying arts, like who are non-science background, they get a degree of Bachelor or of Arts, and those who are from science background, they get a degree in BSc. So BSc also, it is normal BSc or BSc Computers. If you specifically select IT as your subject, then you will get a degree in BSc Computers. Once you have finished your training in NDA, after that, all the Army aspirants go to IMA Dehradun. And there your training is for 1 year. And so you straight away join in the second term of IMA. And after you complete your training in IMA for 1 year, then you will pass out as lieutenant. All those cadets who have opted for Air Force, they go to Air Force Academy, Hyderabad, Secunderabad. And they have a training of 1.5 years, flying training. And after 1 year, they get their commission and finally they pass out as flying officers. The naval cadets, they go to Naval Academy in Azamla. And so they also have a 1 year training in Naval Academy. And once you pass out from there, once you complete your training, then you pass out as a sub-lieutenant. In Army, you pass out as a lieutenant. In Naval Academy, you pass out as a sub-lieutenant. And the Air Force cadets, they pass out as flying officers. Okay. So this is as far as your entry into the armed forces through NDA is concerned. In addition to NDA, there's one more entry for you to join the armed forces, especially the Army, which is known as 10+2 technical entry scheme. So for the technical entry scheme, you need to have minimum 70% marks in your 12th board exams in physics, chemistry, and maths. And you don't have to give any written exam. You will be called for a SSB interview based on your merit list. And once you clear the SSB interview, then you have an option of either joining there are 3 cadet training wings. One is at CME Pune. That is for those candidates who want to join the Corps of Engineers. Then there's one at MCT Mau. Who's from Mau among you? Purusharth. You must have seen Mau, MCT Mau.
Yes, sir.
So there again, if you join CTW in MCT Mau, you will go to Corps of Signals. And there's the third CTW cadet training wing is in MCEME Secunderabad. So those cadets who joined MCEME Secunderabad, they are commissioned into the Corps of Engineers. Now, what is the difference between the CTW and NDA? The training through CTW, that is the 10+2 technical entry scheme, you have total of 5 years of training. If you go through NDA, your training is for 4 years. You get commissioned after 4 years and as a lieutenant. But if you go through CTW, that is the 10+2 technical entry scheme, you get it. You have a training of 5 years. However, you get commissioned after 4 years. And 1 year training is in your respective institutes, that is the CME Pune or MCT Mau or MCEME Secunderabad. And once you finish your 5 years of training, then you get a degree in engineering, BTech. So that is the major difference between NDA and technical entry scheme. Those cadets who pass out from NDA, they get a degree of BSc or BA. And those who pass out from say CTW, they become engineers. They get, because their training is 1 year extra, so they get a degree of BTech. Now, all those cadets who join Naval Academy, so everybody, whether you go through NDA or whether you go directly as a technical entry scheme to the Naval Academy, you also get a degree of BTech. And same is the case of in FOS. If you join as a technical entry candidate, then you will get a degree in BTech. Otherwise, you get a degree of graduation. So this is as far as your entry into the armed forces, the options available to you for entry into the armed forces are concerned for candidates who are either science students or who are arts or commerce students immediately after 12th. There's one more entry for especially for the medical aspirants. All of you who are in Pune, you must have heard of AFMC. Yeah. Aditya would be knowing. What about Divya? Anuj? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So AFMC is you'll have to explain the meeting. AFMC is specifically for those cadets who want to join the Army Medical Corps, AMC. So you have a separate entrance exam which is combined with the NEET, which is what is NEET? NEET is the entrance exam for entry into the medical colleges. So for when you apply for NEET, you have to specifically mention that you want to join the AFMC. So they make a separate merit list for those candidates who want to join the AFMC. Then you have a separate merit list, separate interview is conducted for them. And then if they qualify in that, then they join the AFMC, Armed Forces Medical College at Pune. You have a training of 5 years plus your after that your what you call internship, and you get a degree of medicine, and you join as doctors in the Army Medical Corps. So that is one more avenue available for those students who are studying bio in addition to physics, chemistry and maths. Either you're studying only PCB or you're studying PCMB. Okay. So anybody, any questions or queries for whatever I have told you till now?
No, sir.
All clear about this? Now, if you want
Yes, sir, all clear.
to get more details about how do you fill up your entrance form for NDA or for joining AFMC or any other branch, then I'll just type the site link of that website for join the Indian Army. There, if you go to that site, you will get complete details regarding your training. What are the terms and conditions? What are the other medical requirements? What are the subjects to be covered? So all those details you can find them on that site. You will also get the details of the academies, what is about NDA, about IMA, and also Naval Academy and FOS Academy. Okay. Now this is as far as your choices available to you to join the armed forces after you have finished your 12th. Now, just in case you are not able to clear your NDA, or you think, yeah, no, I don't want to join army immediately. I want to first finish my graduation, and after that I'll think whether I want to join the armed forces or not. Okay. So you can finish your engineering, you can finish your any other BA or BSc or any other subject, BBA, BCom, and after that you would say, feel no, or now I want to join the armed forces. Then you have the option of joining IMA, that is the Indian Military Academy, directly after finishing your graduation. For that you have a exam conducted by USC called CDSE exam, Combined Defense Services Exam. So it is again multiple choice, and for army, whether you are arts or commerce or science graduate, you can appear for that. And for Navy and Air Force, you have to be a science graduate, either BSc or BTech. That is the main difference between the Army, Navy, Air Force. Okay. So once you have given your written exam, thereafter again you have to go through that. Once you have cleared your written exam, then a merit list is made and you will get a call for SSB interview, which is conducted either at SSB Center, Allahabad, Bhopal, Bangalore. Air Force cadets also go to Dehradun, and there's one more center at Kapurthala. Now, there's one more special requirement for a candidate to join the Air Force, especially. You have to also clear, when you go for SSB interview, you have to clear, there's a test called PABT, Pilot Aptitude Basic Test. So if you clear that test, then only can you join as a pilot. You can that is a flying branch. If you are not able to clear that test, then you will not be able to join the Air Force in the flying branch. In addition to that, there's one more entry which is also called Short Service Commission. So for Short Service Commission, the training is for 9 months, whereas for permanent commission in the IMA, you have a training for 18 months, that is 1.5 years. And once you get selected through the Short Service Commission, you either serve for 10 years or 14 years. 10 years is the minimum. After 10 years, if you feel ki, no, I do not want to continue in the army, then you can opt for getting out, and you'll or you can ask for an extension, and you can also opt for getting a permanent commission. All three options are there once you finish your 10 years. So if your application selected based on your performance in those 10 years, you might get a permanent commission. Otherwise, you may get an extension for 4 years, or you can leave after 10 years. So the difference between that is that maybe once you have joined the army, you feel that this is not a profession which is suited for me. I would have better option outside. Then after you leave after 10 years, so outside also you have options to get a job in whichever field you want to. Okay, that is one. As far as girls are concerned, for women officers, you have two types of entries. One is a normal entry, which is after you finish your graduation, that is BA, BCom, BSc or BTech, and then you write a written exam. Then you are called for SSB interview, and after you clear a SSB interview, a merit list is made and you join the OTA Chennai, and you have a training for 49 weeks. And thereafter you are commissioned as lieutenants in the army. Similarly, Air Force and Navy also has this option for women officers to join as officers in the Navy and Air Force. And after doing your graduation. Only difference between the girls and boys is that girls can join the armed forces only after completing their graduation. Okay, that is the major difference. And any one of you who has joined NCC in your school? Do you have NCC in your school? Anyone? National Cadet Corps? Yeah, Ajay, you have. Anybody else?
I was NCC cadet, yes.
Okay, I have one of my ex-cadets with me here, Pooja Yadav. Pooja, can you please switch on your camera?
Yes, sir.
So Pooja, can you tell them about the NCC special entry scheme?
Yes, sir, sure. First of all, hi everyone. Hello, sir.
Before
really nice
Pooja
to see
starts,
you
I just
after
want
a
to
long
tell you
time.
one thing about her. She was my cadet in NCC when I was posted in Ahmedabad. and she was a senior wing cadet that time. That was in the year 2012-13, and she participated as a best cadet, all India best cadet to competition in Republic Day parade at New Delhi, and also she got selected for youth exchange program, and she went to China. And in that all India best cadet competition, Pooja got second position,
Third, sir, third.
third position. And that
Yeah.
year, I want
Sir,
to
she
just
was
tell you, I was in Ahmedabad group. All the best cadets were from our Ahmedabad group.
Sir, Shalini Joshi was from that group only?
Shalini Joshi and Pooja Yadav, they are all from the same batch.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And all 8 best cadets of Gujarat were from Ahmedabad group. And out of those, all 8 went to various countries as part of youth exchange program. I think that was the best batch of NCC group headquarter Ahmedabad, and best batch of the NCC directorate that year. So now,
Great,
Pooja,
great.
please tell them about the NCC special entry scheme.
Yes, sir.
This is very nice. Sorry to interrupt. We might get disconnected. I'll restart the meeting, but everyone, please jump on. We are starting to have fun. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Really, I could not believe that I can do it, but it is because of the good training that I received. I really could do it possibly. And right now I'm doing PhD, but I did apply for army. I was as enthusiastic, but unfortunately I couldn't get in. But given an opportunity, I would have gone again, but my age limit does not permit now. So that's the thing. But I gave NCC special entry, so I got into Bhopal SSB. I remember I gave 2 SSBs. So through NCC special entry, I guess you have 50 vacancies for guys and 5 vacancies for girls. So if you are an NCC cadet, you have a really added advantage. Plus also you have advantage during the interview, and you get some extra points because of NCC C certificate. So this is an added advantage. If you all have NCC, you do not have to give any written exam. You get direct entry, and thereafter the procedure is just similar like other SSBs. So I gave 1 CDS entry and NCC entry. So I was conference out basically because I did not have proper training, to be very honest. I just had NCC training, and later on I did not go for any specialized training. I just went with it. I believe if I had proper training like sir, I guess sir is available to give training now. If at that time, sir, if you would have opened the coaching thing, I would have joined, and maybe I would have cleared. But anyway, so NCC entry is an added advantage. If you all have that, then please go for it. And if there are any questions related to the SSB, you can ask me now.
I will ask question. My kids are, very silent. Okay, they're shy in asking question, but I'll ask. I was talking to Aditya sir earlier. I also have failed SSB interview 3 times. Okay. When it's in 1988 and 89, long back. Okay. So Aditya sir, the question is very simple. Can we really prepare for SSB?
It is yes or no, both. Because what happens is there are so many like when I appeared for my SSB, I also I also got through in the 3rd chance. I did not get through in the 1st chance. So first time when I went there, I got conference out. Second time I did a little bit of it was not a formal training. I through one of my uncles, he put me across to one person who was a serving officer, so who gave me a broad idea as to what is to be done and how to prepare. But a 3rd time I went there and I cleared my SSB. That was from SSB Bangalore. And but now what has happened is now, like any other exam, there are so many specialist people available who are who have gone through the process or who are aware of the process. So they prepare you, but it is again a two-pronged thing. At times it may go against also, because when you go there for the SSB interview, they are looking for certain special qualities which either you have or you don't have. As far as the training is concerned, as far as your military training is concerned, physical training is concerned, physical training, when you join the academy, they'll make you physically tough. They'll mold you in the way which they want you to be. And one more thing which is required is that you don't have to be a genius. In the armed forces, where you need a average balanced person who should be able to adjust to all type of circumstances without any problems, and also you should be able to work as a team. And if required, you should be able to in a position to automatically become a leader also of the team. So
Aditya sir,
when we prepare, yes, Sunny.
Sir, Ricky has some questions.
Yeah, Ricky, ask me.
Hi sir, good evening. Ricky this side, sir. I generally actually I'm not planning to go to army, but now that you joined your meeting, but though I wanted to ask you a question about the aura of an SSB interview, because it really intrigues me to know this question, because I have seen many people join. I have seen many people give an SSB interview, and I've also asked their experiences. They say that once in a life, even if you're not planning to join army by any chance, you should always give an SSB exam, because it prepares you for more interviews in life in which you're taking in different streams, because it's such a nice, it's not it may be tough also, but they said they train you in certain level. The quality and the toughness of it is so nice that it will prepare you for other interviews. So I wanted to ask you about the aura of an SSB interview.
Yeah, so that way you are right, Ricky, because SSB interview is different from any other interview. Like whenever you go for any other job, it is just a interview of about half an hour or 1 hour, wherein your turn will come. They'll ask you, they'll see your qualification, they'll ask you some general questions, and it'll finish off. But whereas in the armed forces, the requirement is slightly different from the you have to firstly see there's a series of tests. There are some mental ability tests which are conducted. Then there are certain physical tests. Then you have group discussion. Then you have various kinds of tasks. Physical tasks are there, then group tasks are there, individual tasks are there, and the person who is there to observe you, there's a team of, there's not one person, but there's a team of examiners who are sitting there, who are observing you right from the day one when you enter the SSB center. So not only do they see your performance in the test, but they also see your normal behavior with the other candidates, how you treat each other, how you gel with them, whether you're trying to be more authoritative, and all these things. So there, it is very difficult to clearly specify what exactly is the requirement. They have a laid down standard. Anybody who crosses that line gets selected, and anybody who's unable to cross, out of the 5 tests, if you have cleared 4 tests and you are not able to clear the minimum thing in the 5th test, then you will not make it. Similarly, in case somebody has gone and taken coaching from a training academy, they can make out. Because what happens is some training academy, they tell you what to do and what not to do. So that means you have already conditioned yourself, you're not behaving your natural self. Whereas there, when you're there, they want you to see how you behave in a naturally, not in a artificial environment. So that is why at times what happens is some people get through in the first chance, some people get through in second or third chance, and there are people who even after trying for 5-6 times, they are not able to clear the SSB interview process. It's not an interview; it is actually SSB selection process. And when like you have a number of academies which train you, so they may make you practice the test, how to write or how to speak, how to behave in a manner. But when you go there, you will realize no matter how much training I give you, but when you are in a pressure situation, when you are in an examination environment, you will start behaving naturally, as you are actually in your thing. Like, for example, I'll compare it with your training right now, which you're taking from Sunny sir. He's training you for physics, chemistry, maths. He's teaching you here. He's giving you all the knowledge. He's making you practice the tests also. But when you are actually writing the exam, that time how you write, what is your mental state? That will be the final this thing between success of partial success.
So Aditya
Same
sir,
is with these also. So that is the major difference between thing. And I'm sure Pooja would wanted to say something about this SSB interview process. Yeah, Pooja.
Sir, actually, I was wanting to address the previous question that Abhinav sir asked, that is coaching necessary or not, something related to that.
Yeah.
So, for that, I'd like to add that because SSB exam is so diverse, there are different kinds of tests. So yes, it is possible that you crack without training. A lot of people do that. I've seen some of my friends do that, but this exam is so diverse that some aspects of it can be practiced, but some cannot. Like the psychological tests, they are like on the spot. So usme to no matter how much training you get, what is there in your subconscious mind will only appear. But regarding the other aspects like the obstacle race or the GTOs and the interviews, so a lot can be done with practice. If interview techniques and the physical things, those can be practiced. So yes, the answer is yes and no. It can be done without it, but you can we can say that you can be groomed more if you are trained by a mentor or something.
So I'll just
Aditya sir.
Yeah.
Most of my students who have cracked IIT, this NDA, they have taken, classes for SSB also.
Okay.
रिटर्न के लिए तो मैंने उनको ट्रेन कर दिया, तो उनको निकल गया। जैसे आपके बेटे का भी रिटर्न क्लियर हो गया था, एंड CME से हर साल every year 10 to 15 kids they crack NDA, क्योंकि most of them are from army background. जैसे अभी दिव्या, his dad is also an army officer, and ब्रिगेडियर कौशिक का बेटा है जैसे आदित्य, तो इन लोगों को तो हेल्प मिल जाती है। बट जो नॉन आर्मी पीपल है, जो टेस्ट का जो SSB का जो रहता है फॉर्म, वो उनको समझ में नहीं आता। फॉर एग्जांपल रिटन में तो यू हैव अ 300 मार्क्स पेपर फॉर मैथ्स एंड यू हैव अ 600 for general awareness. So there you can practice hard for mathematics. Mathematics is the most important, because if you are not
mathematics is most important.
सेकंड पेपर चेक नहीं करेंगे सर वो। अनिमेश था ना सर, अनिमेश स्वयं, अनिमेश स्वयं अपना, उसका जनरल अवेयरनेस में उसका फुल है सर, बट उसका मैथमेटिक्स उसका बहुत वीक था, तो उसका फिर रिटर्न नहीं हुआ। उसी के साथ तरन था, तरन बटवाल का मैथ्स बहुत अच्छा था, but he has a problem in general awareness. General that to be precise SST, not with English and biology and physics. तो उसका फिर all India 84 rank था।
Okay. Yeah, Divya, you wanted to ask? Yes.
Yes, sir. After the psychological tests have been done, so the person has failed the psychological test and the points which the observers find in us. So if someone fails in that, do the observers tell personally that what went wrong and how can you improve next time? Or if your age limit has gone, suppose I failed in my 7th attempt and my age is 27, and now I cannot come into army. So will they tell something that you have to change this thing in your behavior so that you can succeed in your life or earn more in your life? Or do something which is happy for you.
I want to just correct one thing here, Divya. You don't fail in the SSB test. Okay.
Yeah, you
There's a minimum qualitative QR. We call QR. There's a minimum QR which is required to clear for every test, whether it is psychological test or whether it is a physical test or interview or other things, and combination of all those things is taken into consideration. And in the last stage, then you have a conference, and wherever they have a there could be some people who are clear cut, who have cleared all the criteria. There could be some who have not been able to clear one or more criteria, and there could be some cases who are borderline, where they would have doubt ki whether he may be, he can be, or he considered, or he may not consider. So that is where the conference decides, because everybody is sitting there, all the members of the board. They have their results of your various tests in front of you, and any wherever they have a little bit of doubt about your personality, they can ask you questions and they make out, and then they can decide whether you are this way or that way. However, nobody fails. It is in your board exam you may fail. But as far as the professional exams are concerned, whether it is for SSB interview or any other profession, it is whether you have cleared, you are meeting that minimum criteria which is required to join that particular profession. Okay, one is that. Secondly, your query as to do they tell you? No, nobody tells you what went wrong, because all the results are confidential. Nobody comes to know. So what happens is that is why these days you must have seen, when you are in 10th standard, a lot of schools have started conducting your career counseling, wherein they call people from outside who are trained career counselors, who come and they make you undergo a series of aptitude tests. And based on that aptitude test, they make a report and they tell you which are the professions where you can do well, and which are the professions where you based upon your performance, which you may not succeed. And then they say, give you choices. You can do A, B, C, D. You can become a doctor, or you can become an engineer, or you can do well as a lawyer or any other field. And then they tell you, then they leave the choice up to you to decide which particular field you want to join. Whereas in SSB interview, you do not come to know. So like Pooja said, if I'm training, I'm not training you. I'm only guiding you as to how to prepare for a particular test, which is part of the SSB interview, and which are the certain things which you have to keep in mind when you're appearing for the test. But when you're actually giving the test, like Pooja said, especially the psychological tests, these are the most important. These are the most important tests. And one more thing is, like wherever your group tasks are there or group discussion is there, so there are certain people who are very shy in speaking, so they have to be asked, or they have to be told to please speak. And there were certain people who are natural speakers, so you must have heard that somebody will start off, somebody will sum up, some people will automatically speak in between, and some will be asked to please give your point of view. So there are certain things which are natural, ingrained in you. So when you are being coached, so what we try to do is help you develop your positive qualities, so that when you appear for any kind of interview, you can show those qualities in front of the interviewer or the examiner. But as far as the psychological tests are concerned, you may do how much practice you want, because there are lots of guidebooks available in the market, where, like for your entrance exam also, for IIT, JEE, you have those, you keep on practicing these, and but and especially for your board exam, you can make a pattern. These are the likely questions which can come, and you can prepare well. But when it comes to the SSB interview, there is no fixed pattern. No
Single,
two
sir.
tests are common.
Does it?
So that is why the only thing is that when we guide, we tell you how to go about it. And of course, you have to prepare, especially your general knowledge. Like your science student, your focus is only physics, chemistry, math, because you're preparing for board exam and also you are preparing for your JEE. But how many of you are reading newspapers daily? Can you just raise your hand? No one. How many of you watch news on TV? Pooja? Is she there? Okay. So,
Just when my father watches it.
pardon?
Just when my father watches it.
Yeah. So when we used to train our cadets, or even for best cadet, when we were training them for best cadet competition, we were training in the same manner as you are preparing for a SSB interview. So first thing we used to tell them was, you have to read newspaper every day. You have to read these competition masters or competition success reviews so that you are aware of the general topics. What is happening in and around the world. Like today, all of you must be aware of what is corona, what are the causes, how it has affected the world. Because it is a pandemic, that is why everybody is aware about it. But there are so many other things happening in the country and the world which you need to be aware. Because what happens is, when you go to an interview, any interview, not only for SSB, you have a group discussion. In group discussion, they'll give you a general topic. If you have read about it, you are aware, then you will be able to speak about it. Similarly, you have lecturates, they give you a topic and you have to speak on that. That is extempore. They just give you a topic. And so that is why it is very important. Okay, you prepare your physics, chemistry, maths for your boards and engineering exams, but you must continue reading your newspapers and also be aware of the current affairs and general knowledge. And similarly, like Sunny sir mentioned, for your written exam for NDA, you have social studies also. Your general knowledge is also written paper. So right now you are just focusing on PCM, but you may not be giving that much attention to other subjects, even when you were in 10th, or now once you have come to 11th, 12th, as it is, you are not forgotten about those subjects.
The same sir problem was this Prashant and other people were facing about SST. Because they were good with the maths, but वो SST उन्होंने पढ़ी नहीं 10th के बाद. So then they face the same problem. Sir, एक चीज और पूछनी थी आपसे. If someone is not fluent in English, does it has a bad impact on SSB?
No. If you are, it is not a bad impact if you are able to express yourself well. If you know the subject, and even if you are able to, like, because a lot of children who are coming, especially coming from rural background.
Yes, sir. Can you give your SSB in Hindi?
So SSB, you can speak in English, but if you speak in English, then of course you are almost at par with other.
Yeah.
But if you speak in Hindi, but you should have the knowledge. You should have you should be aware about your speak what your knowledge has to be there. I'll give you an example of one cadet of mine. His name is Shubham Kumar Singh. He was from Sainik School, Balachandi, Gujarat. He was also preparing for the same best cadet competition with Pooja at that time. And when we were preparing, he said कि सर मैं हिंदी में बोल सकता हूँ क्योंकि इंग्लिश में मेरे को थोड़ा सा कम है. So he spoke in English. All his group discussion and lecturate, he spoke in English. When he went to RDC, there also he spoke in English, and he came first All India Best Cadet Junior Division.
Great.
So if you know your subject, you speak because once you join the academy, automatically you will with peer pressure you will learn to speak English. You should be able to speak. You should be able to convey your ideas in front of the people who are there. That is more important. And there are so many things which once you join the academy, you will be trained automatically. You will have to learn it. Once you join, there is no choice.
Yes, sir.
But if you already know, especially all those students who are staying in Pune or in bigger cities, it is definitely a big advantage for you, not only for SSB, but any other profession. Yes, and for example, can you study physics, chemistry or maths in Hindi? If suppose Sunny sir starts teaching you physics or chemistry formulas in Hindi, will you understand? No. So you need to know English. Same is applicable for other things also. You may be able to understand social studies a little bit in English or history in Hindi because you can read it. But there are certain subjects, even medical also. There are things which technical terms cannot be converted into. They have to be in English. So that is why English is important.
Yes,
And
yes,
that
sir.
is why English is compulsory till 10th. And there are people who are, there are students who have scored 100 marks in English in their 12th board exam also.
I think,
That
sir,
is how people
till
are
12th
getting
it's
10 out of
compulsory.
10. Yeah, Sunny?
Yes, yes, yes. Sir, I think till 12th it is compulsory. English is compulsory till 12th.
Yeah. Yeah, Aditya, you must be aware. You are in 12th.
Sir, no idea. I haven't checked this yet.
You have to English in
Because
your
I
12th or no?
obviously didn't want. Sir, I do have English,
Adu
but
Ang-
there is an option for Hindi also.
Huh.
Achha, instead of English, you can take Hindi also.
हाँ sir, Hindi subject है, but I'm not too sure if it's compulsory. I mean, if English is compulsory or not.
नहीं भाई, हिंदी उसके लिए है, मैथ्स बायो और उसके बीच में ऑप्शन है भाई. इंग्लिश के बीच में ऑप्शन नहीं है हिंदी का.
सर हिंदी कहीं कहीं पे होता है, सब जगह नहीं होता. कहीं कहीं पे
नहीं
होता है.
हिंदी इंग्लिश का तो
optional
ऑप्शन
होता
ही
है
नहीं है.
सर हिंदी
हैं?
ऑप्शनल
क्या?
होता है अलग से.
हाँ, अलग से ऑप्शन होता है, वही
होता है
बोल
ना?
रहा, इंग्लिश के साथ है ही
English
नहीं.
compulsory
So
होता है.
English is the
your fourth optional subject could be Hindi
yes sir.
instead of
Sir, not too sure,
bio
I haven't
or
checked.
otherwise. But English and physics, chemistry,
instead of
maths is compulsory.
physics,
Yeah.
chemistry is compulsory. You can opt either for bio, Hindi, or some other subject like computers.
Okay.
PCM B करना है, PCB with computers कर सकते हो या हिंदी के साथ कर सकते हो.
Okay, so as now, as far as your career options in the armed forces is concerned, whether after 12th or whether after graduation, does anybody has any other query? Can ask me. Ajay sir, how much more time do we have? Because then we'll go on to the next topic.
Yeah, so I think, sir, another 5 to 10 minutes, we should wrap up.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
fine. So, as I told you, I'll just give you I'll type the link of the website of IMA, sorry, in the chat box. We have got just 10 minutes for.
Sessions like this, interactive sessions can go on and on. We like it very much. Okay. But unfortunately,
So what we can do is we can later on, we can again, specific to a particular thing, we can schedule later if somebody has specific queries, or you can contact me directly also. So there's this site, joinindianarmy.nic.
You have a YouTube channel also, sir?
Yeah.
Single sir, you have a YouTube channel, वो भी sir share कर देना.
Okay.
So that people can,
Yeah, you will share. I will also share in the chats with, WhatsApp chats with everyone.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll send you the links for the YouTube channel, I'll think to Ajay, and then you can share it with them in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we come to the second part of the what we wanted to cover about what are the special qualities required for any profession, really, so that you can become good leaders. So first thing is ki whichever profession you choose, whichever subject or line you choose for yourself, you have to be convinced in your own mind, yes, why I want to do this. Suppose if I want to join armed forces, why do I want to join the armed forces, or whether I want to become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, why do I want to do that particular profession? Because once you are clear about the why, then how will automatically come. Then you will find ways and means to overcome that, to achieve your aim. That is one point. Secondly is the time. Time management and time consciousness is most important. Like Aditya and Purshad, whose parents, father are in the army, they know very well the value of time. Punctuality, you have to be punctual, you should use your time well. And I'll just give you a small example. When you give your board exam, what is the duration of your paper?
3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours is equal to how many minutes?
180.
180.
180 minutes. And what is how many marks are there?
80.
80.
80 marks in 180 minutes. Okay. So if you divide 180 by 80, what is the figure which comes? Yeah. Anyone? Aditya?
2.25.
Can you speak loudly? 2.25. 2.25. That means for 1 mark, you have 2.25 minutes in the exam. So if you have a 80 marks paper, you have to finish it in 180 minutes. And so when you prepare for exam, you divide your time for each question accordingly. And normally when you write your exam, you go through the paper, and what you do is the questions which you know you are confident of, you attempt that first. And at times what happens is, since you know so much, you keep writing, and at the end you find that unimportant questions you have very little time to write. It happens or no? With some people it does happen, but some people who have who know how to manage their time, like Aditya is nodding, that means Aditya knows the trick how to write an exam. But otherwise, like this is a simple formula: 180 minutes for 80 marks. So any exam, similarly, when you have a 3 hours exam, so you divide the time by number of marks, and accordingly you fix your time. Suppose it is a 10 minutes paper, that means 10 marks question, that means you cannot spend more than how many minutes on that? 5 minutes or 10 minutes? So that you have to be conscious. So that means you plan your exam in such a manner that you are able to do all the questions and properly. Similarly, for your normal schedule also, all the activities you are doing, like you cannot keep on studying throughout 24 hours in a day. You need time to sleep. You need time to take a break. So once you have decided what is the aim, you have to manage your time. You must learn to respect your time. If you start doing this from now only, if you make it a habit, then you will be very successful in your life, whichever profession you go into. And next is, whatever subject you have chosen, or whatever field you have chosen, you have to be best in that. Because your parents are not forcing you to select PCM. They are not forcing you to select go into the army. You are selecting your subject. You are deciding which profession you want to do. Once they have given you the choice, they'll just help you in achieving your aim. But then you have to ensure, and your attempt should be that I will be the best in that particular field. So what will happen if you do this from right in the beginning, then if not 100%, you will be able to at least 75 to 80%, you will be able to achieve your aim. So time, then your aim and focus on your whatever you are doing. And especially one more thing which is important is, when you are in a group with your friends in your school or in a college, you should treat everyone with respect, cooperate with each other, help each other. The more you spread your knowledge, the more expert you will become. Because what is happening is, if suppose you are helping a friend in a particular subject, you are automatically getting practice. Now you must have seen Sunny sir. He doesn't need to read the books. He will come to your house and he'll just start without referring to the books. Doesn't it happen that way? Aditya must have seen when Sunny sir used to teach Ashna, or like Gaurav and Tavishik. He will come and he'll just start. He doesn't even wait ki okay kitab lekar aayega, and he'll so that is the kind of specialization or excellence you should perfection you should try to achieve in that. And lastly, in addition to all this, yes, working hard is fine, but you, whatever your hobbies you have, if you are a sportsman or you have any other hobby, you must follow that also. You need a time to break. Physical activities is more important. Not in front of the laptop or in your mobile playing PUBG. PUBG as it is has been banned by the government now. So physical activities are better. It keeps you fit. It gives you a break, and you especially all of you whose parents are in the army, you get so many facilities in your which are not available outside. Whether it is swimming or squash or tennis or golf or any game. So these are certain things which come to my mind right now. And since we are running out of time, next time when we
Yeah,
meet, we'll add on certain more points. That is all
absolutely.
as of now from my side.
Absolutely, Colonel. It was an amazing interactive session. I think some of the kids opened up very nicely. Others also, I think, pretty sure they have got very nice things to take back. Okay. And if kids, if you have questions, feel free. Colonel is part of the family, extended family. And he is not only available only now, he can help us whenever you have questions in future. So feel free, get back to me or Sunny sir, and we will organize such events even in future if we need more. Okay. Thank you very much, Colonel sir, and
Thank you,
also
Ajay.
Vijay sir.
Thank you, Sunny
You know,
Thank
to
you,
have
Singhal
you
sir.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you
also
very
got
much.
my revision. I also got my revision done.
Okay, great.
Thank you so
Great,
much.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
And bye-bye
Thank you, sir.
to
And wish you
everyone.
all the best. Aditya,
Thank
I
you so
hope to
much,
see
sir.
you in Pune soon in NDA.
Hopefully, sir.
Hopefully, you say yes, I will see you
Hopefully.
there. Not hopefully.
Yes.
Yes,
That is
sir.
the
Yes,
difference
sir.
in
I'll be there.
attitude. Yes, sir, I will see you in NDA
Yes,
only.
sir. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's how Sunny sir is student
Sir, I'm
speak. Yes,
preparing
sir.
for IIT also, na. So if I get through IIT, I'll go there, no?
Okay.
Okay.
That
Good
should be the
point.
confidence.
Absolutely. Good.
Okay, sir.
Wish you
See
all the
you.
best
Thanks a
and
lot.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.